Welcome to the Krista Escamilla Show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the Krista Escamilla Show. As always, I am grateful that you're spending some time with us here so we can listen, learn, and grow. Three of my favorite things. I want to thank, before we introduce our amazing guest, I want to thank our sponsors. Without our sponsors, we could not have a show. So huge shout out to Kevin Foreman of Foreman Financial. Also want to thank Rig ID Workwear, Midland Cap Company, ThinFR, JoinCapClub.com, Tapestry Hotel Midland, and the new Omni Midland Hotel. Thank you so much for your support. We appreciate you allowing us to share the amazing stories of West Texans. Okay, now to that amazing guest I was telling you about. Ladies and gentlemen, sitting in our studio here live in Midland, Texas, we have two-time Olympian Bryce Hoppel, and of course, Midland native. So let's give him a big round of applause. Our whole studio audience of four.
It's good to be on.
Bryce, thank you so much for being here.
It's awesome to be here. Good to be back in Midland, just relaxing and seeing all the family and all the great people in Midland as well.
Well, we are so excited to share your story. Want to start off with a big, huge congratulations. I understand you had a pretty busy summer.
Quite a busy summer. Over in Europe for about 2 months, so I was very homesick. Mainly just food, missing everything here, and Mexican food and everything, but yeah, busy summer.
It's good, because I'm going to ask you your favorite Mexican food restaurant in Midland later on in the show.
Oh, that's a big shout out. All right.
But first, I want to start, I always ask our guests, how did you get to Midland, Texas?
How did I get here?
Yes.
So my dad's been here a lot longer than I have. I've been here for, I guess, I was born and raised here, and so born at Midland Memorial Hospital.
So by birth.
Yeah, by birth. And yeah, went to St. Anne's for grade school and stuff, and then went to Midland High and went off to college. But the Midland will always be home. So yeah.
Well, and Midland is so proud of you. Always has been. I mean, we've been following your career for so many years. I remember when you were young hearing about this fast kid at St. Anne's, right? And then this fast kid at Midland High. And you just got faster through the years. But I want to talk a little bit about your journey, because to me, that's what it's all about, is how did you get into running? And I wanted to give a shout out. You said you got your dad and your mom and dad are from here. Your dad is a Midland Rockhounds staple. And so I'm sure you grew up watching the Rockhounds games, the baseball games. So the big question, how did you not play baseball, and how did you how did you get into running?
I mean, it was it was a tough decision, you know, like I grew up playing all the different sports, and I think my parents did a really good job of like fostering just that love for athletics in general. And so growing up, my first love for sport was definitely probably soccer. And I loved growing up around the ballpark, and I played baseball right along with that on a travel team for baseball. And
okay, so you did play baseball.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I did. I played for, probably until I was 13, so 11 years. I don't know. Probably a little longer. I don't know. No, but I loved it. But you probably just gravitate towards like things you're probably a little bit better at. Like,
right.
Might have been a little afraid to get in the batter's box and stuff, and but I don't know. I think there was like signs early on that running probably was my calling.
When they were telling you, hey, we're going to have you steal the base again and again and again.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, it's just like, from what I could like remember, it's just like we'd always have like conditioning, which like I feel like kids at that age like would hate. And it's like, hey, let's run laps to the field poles back and forth, or let's run laps in soccer like around the ballpark and stuff. And it always like, I'd always be the kid that's like excited about it, like, oh yeah, like I'll do some laps.
I love that.
So yeah, there's definitely early signs that I was probably going to be a runner.
Oh, I love that. That is fantastic. So when was it that you actually did your first race? Was it in? Do you even remember? I know it's hard. It's hard to remember that far back.
Well, so St. Anne's is like definitely where I got my start. Coach Reeker at St. Anne's had us doing, I think, track from when we were like in kindergarten.
Okay.
We do like the one. I guess it's like track meet every year. And
relays.
They take us out to Ratliff Stadium, and I would do the 200 at the time. So I honestly, my earliest memories, there's definitely a photo of me somewhere running at St. Anne's where I was like, shoes were bigger than my. It's crazy to see how young I got started.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then from there, you started running in high school at Midland High, or was there, I'm in the golf world, so I don't know the running world. Are there like little leagues that you do, or is it all school focused?
So it was a pretty like fragmented like journey into like full-time running, because again, like I played all these different sports growing up, and soccer was probably my main focus, even like halfway through high school. And so I definitely owe a lot of different people, and I don't know how to like, it's hard to tell the story of like how it all began, because like I did do running along with like soccer and baseball all growing up,
right?
But I didn't do like running full-time until halfway through high school. And I remember the Stramblers, and I did do like summer track when I was young, and I maybe did it like once or twice.
Okay.
And so like, I had track there, but it wasn't like, it was Coach Ochoa and Coach De La Rosa that really like got me into running. And like, I mean, their like passion for the sport and like how much they put into us that early years, like freshman, sophomore year in high school, is like what got me going. And definitely that group of friends, like I think that's the biggest part, was we just had an incredible group of guys where like we had more so had like a friendship, which like translated into like a love for the sport.
I think that's so important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it makes you just love it that much more when you're out there with your buddies, and you can encourage each other and root each other on, or beat them, probably in your case.
Yeah. But yeah, it was so I did soccer I played soccer like pretty much full time, because like it kind of clashed in high school, my freshman and sophomore year. And the story of it was like, all right, let's move you guys. Our soccer coach was like, let's put you guys in cross country to like stay in shape. And like De La Rosa and Ochoa were really, I just remember them coming in for like meetings to like try to recruit kids into cross country, and whatever. I eventually ended up getting that, and like ended up falling in love with it. And yeah,
I love that.
Went out to another like summer track with them, I think either my freshman or sophomore year, and found out I was pretty good at it.
When did you find out that it wasn't just your parents going, yeah, you're really good, sweetie? When did you find out you're like, yeah, this could have a future, and this might be something I want to do?
Man, so I think it was that first time that I went out with them to like, it was the Junior Olympics, which like,
oh wow,
a little bit of foreshadowing.
Right.
I made it to like the national stage for the Junior Olympics. I was like, made it in the 1500 and made it all to like the national final. And so that was like the deciding point. It was like, oh man, like you might have a future in it. And so that was really the tough part, because I'd made so many, and still like some of my best friends from growing up playing soccer. And so I had to make the tough transition to like, okay, going into junior year in high school, do I want to focus like solely on track?
Right.
And yeah, made that decision, and luckily it all worked out, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely, it did. It worked out beautifully, I believe. Was it a hard decision? Because I know a lot of kids, at that stage, right, maybe ninth grade, they're thinking, okay, do I focus in on one, or should I do multiple sports? Was it a hard decision for you?
It was a hard decision, because like I feel like all I knew was like that like group of friends in soccer, and just like playing soccer in general. So it was a big sacrifice to like, I'm not gonna be playing soccer anymore. Like it was a part of my identity. But I think luckily, like the thing that made it even able to transition was like that group of friends that I'd made, and the coaches that were passionate for track. So they made it easy. Yeah.
That's fantastic. So did you always do the 800? Did you know that this was going to be your race?
Yeah. So I'm gonna give credit to Coach Strine for that one.
Coach Strine, shout out.
Let's see. So I did like. So again, I made that transition in junior year, but so soccer was conflicting freshman and sophomore year, and I ran like 400. I ran the 400 meters like one track meet a year for those first 2 years, and so I was like, I was pretty good at it. Like I was quick. I came out and just like had the natural knack for running.
I love how he says, I was quick. Yeah, like you were really fast. I bet, Bryce.
Well, it's like still just learning. You don't know the potential of it, but
right, that's true. It's a journey to get to where you are today. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I think. I have a specific memory of like, so those like in that freshman and sophomore year, I thought I was a 400 guy, and they had me run the 800, and it was in Lubbock, and so I did the 800, and I was like, I think I ran a really slow time, and it was like hard because it's like a little bit longer distance, and I was like, I'm never gonna run that again.
So that's it for 400? No more?
And well, for 800.
Oh, for 800. That was your 800.
It was longer, because I was still a soccer guy, so like I didn't want to do all the conditioning that it took to do, I guess, a little bit of the longer races at the time.
Gotcha.
But so then it was the junior year that I guess Coach Strine and them, like, they just put me in the mile, they put me in the 800, and they always had me on the 4x4. And so just like, I guess him kind of putting me in that, and then kind of just like, he says like, oh, you're going to be an 800 runner hop. And yeah, it ended up being true.
And you said, okay.
Like, okay, let's do it.
Well, I love that, because I think so many times for kids when they're, or young adults, when they're going through the process of figuring out what they want to do and where they're at, they think like, oh, that's it, that's too hard. But really, I like that you said, you know what, I can do this. It just was hard at the time, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes it just takes that coach believing in you.
Absolutely.
Did you have something in like that time of your life? You had your coach. I'm sure you had a great family. You have lots of friends and family. But did you have somebody that really kind of sparked that? Oh, this is what I want to do when I want to be an Olympian.
Man, it's hard to like think back to like the specific time where like, oh, I want to be an Olympian.
Yeah.
But I think like growing up around the ballpark and like with what like my dad being at the Midland Rockhounds, like I always had that dream to be like, oh, like I want to be a professional athlete. Like I want to play in the MLB, or like I do want like, you know, just like reach the biggest goals of the sport. And so like I always saw that in myself to like have those dreams to be a great athlete.
So you did this right here? Dream big?
Dream big, absolutely.
From a young age, huh?
And so like I was always dreaming big with those kind of dreams. And yeah, I mean once I did start putting my passion into running, it's like, all right, being an Olympian is like the pinnacle of the sport. And so I forget like when the first time it was, but like I think it was probably when I was getting into running. I like told my parents like, hey, like I'm gonna be an Olympian someday. And so
I love
like,
that.
It's
because I believe you got to believe it. You have
yeah.
to put it out there, and you have to believe it for it to happen. And you did it.
I think that's one of the biggest things of running, because like it's such a like it takes a lot of willpower, because like a lot of the time your body's like telling you to stop. Like it's a pretty tough sport.
Yeah, mine tells me that every time I run. You should stop.
And so like,
but I love it. I get a runner's high. Do you get a runner's high?
I don't know. I think it's just day in and day out towards like I'm used to all the feelings of it. So
are you?
Maybe not a runner's high anymore. But no, I think it's one of the things that I like to say is like 50% or even more is just like the mental, like of believing in yourself and like going out there on the track each time, like you know it's gonna hurt, you know it's not gonna feel good, and you know you're gonna push yourself to the limit. But so like that mental battle is half the battle of being able to push yourself, for sure.
Absolutely. And I love that you shared that, because I think a lot of kids need to hear that even for an Olympian, there's a mental battle that's there every single day. I mean, it's
never gonna be comfortable. Like you're gonna get out of yourself what the work that you put in, and it's even today, like going out on some runs, it's like, man, this is hard. But it doesn't get easy. It might get easier, but like you got to keep working for it.
Keep pushing through. Yeah. Well, I love that you said that quote, because I do something called Quote of the Day, and so what I do is I have you pull out of this, just randomly, just kind of close your eyes, pick a card out, read it, and see what quote you got.
You got important.
So you got the important card. Okay. So what does the back say? Which are very important. So that is perfect for you.
What you get by achieving your goals is not important as what you become by achieving your goals.
Ooh, good quote.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you?
What you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals. I think that one resonates well with me, because I've experienced it at points in my career to where like I work hard for like trying to get those medals and trying to become an Olympian.
Right.
And like in those moments, it's like it's not the medals and it's not the achievements that feel good. It's like it's having the family and the people around you and the support that you feel is like what makes it great. And so I feel like I am who I am from the people that I get to do it with, and like who support me and like who build me up to that point.
Right. And
so I think going through all of that and like achieving those goals, definitely makes me who I am. And like, I don't know, being out there on the stage of the Olympics is like, I get to represent all the people that made me who I am. And so I think,
I love that.
That's definitely, that's what I would say on that.
And boy, were they cheering for you here. We're going to fast forward. Well, we're going to go to the Olympics in a minute, but first I want to get through your little. There was a stage between we left off at high school, and then there was of course college, right?
Oh yeah.
And
Can't skip over that.
Yeah, we cannot skip over being a Kansas Jayhawk.
Yeah.
So let's talk about. Oh wait, I have to ask you your quote of the day. Do you have a quote that you live by?
I think to give anything less than your best is to sacrifice the gift, which I think that resonates with my faith and just working hard. Just to give anything less than your best is like you're never going to see your full potential if you're not working hard every day.
That is so good, and I know faith is so important to you. Wear your cross necklace whenever you run,
absolutely.
And I
Got it on right now.
love the church that you grew up in. St. Anne's is an amazing church, such a great congregation of support. I mean, they were all posting on Facebook the entire time you were there. What is it? Tell me a little bit about what your faith means to you and why that's so important when you're out there running.
I mean, it means everything. I think that my parents have distilled that in me, and just like my own relationship with God, it's carried me through a lot. Not everything of being an Olympian is all glitz and glamour. I've had tough times where I've had to work through, and I mean, faith is where I always turn to find that strength. And, it's definitely carried me throughout my life, and I mean, all my ability that I've gotten, I definitely thank God for it. And I mean, I just wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be doing these things without him. So
I love that. And that what makes you, it really does make you such a great role model, because I think that faith is, it's everything. And for the younger generation to hear that, I think is so important, and older. I mean, it really is. It's something that I commend you for, that you are open to share it, because it is so important. Everything is because of him. And we're grateful that you are such a good role model and share that. I want to talk now about that in between, because gosh, is it tough going from high school athlete to college athlete, right?
Yeah, no, it definitely is.
Let's talk about that. I've seen it with our 3 kids in golf, and I can imagine it's the same in running.
Yeah.
You get there and everybody's good, everybody's fast, right?
You go into uncertainty to where like you might have been like the star of like high school, like I won a state championship, and then you get to college and like, all right, everyone's state champions, and it's like you start at the bottom of the totem pole.
So let's talk about the transition. Like, how was that for you, and how did you pick Kansas?
Yeah, I think I chose Kansas. Coach Michael Whittlesey, who's still coaching me through my professional career. I think something just like his faith in me. Like he saw something in me that I think a lot of other coaches might not have seen in me at the time, to where he like, I don't know, he just had that faith in me to push me, and so I think that resonated with me. And even to today, we have a good relationship, and he's helping me make me the athlete that I am. So just having an incredible coach, I think, was the biggest help for that transition, because like you start in the uncertainty and have to work your way back up to be great at the collegiate scene as well.
Well, I always think you need to have someone that believes in you, and that your dreams can come true until you believe it enough that your dreams do come true.
Yeah.
And I love that you had a coach like that really could pour into you. Did he help you pick exactly what school you were going to go to, or?
Well, yeah. He is the coach.
Oh, so he's the coach
at the University of Kansas.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so yeah, he did definitely. Come here.
He helped me pick, and so like I owe a lot to him, and I owe a lot to the university for like developing me into that next level athlete. But no, it's a scary transition, because like, I mean, leaving away from parents, my parents did so much for me, and you kind of go into that more independence of being on your own, and that's another place where it's like it's hard, because like you have so many distractions in college, where like, again, like I think the thing you got to keep hammering in is like you're gonna get as much out of it as you give into it, and so you don't want to get too distracted, and you got to make sure you're doing everything that you can to be successful.
Now, were you, pun intended, were you running fast right out the gates, or did you have that transition, or were you All-American right from freshman year?
No, so I think I was not All-American right. So I think those moments where you kind of miss the success just by a little bit is what builds you up. And so my freshman year in college, I think I had a little bit of injury indoors, and so like I didn't really have first indoor season. Yeah, so track is like 2 seasons, indoor season, outdoor season. And so like I kind of missed that first indoor because of injury. And then going into outdoor, started picking things up, and like had a personal best by like a little bit. And then I missed going to nationals. I think it was by like 0.06.
Oh.
And so they take 12 people to run at nationals in Eugene, Oregon, and I was like 13th by 0.06 seconds. And so
so close.
Yeah.
So close.
But
there's always a but.
Yeah, but so I'm thankful for that moment, because then I stayed for like my engineering degree at the time. I stayed in Lawrence over that summer, and man, that was like probably one of the like hardest working summers I've ever had. Like I was just like Coach B, our like weightlifting coach, I was like, all right, let's get in the weight room, like let's get ready for next year. And I think a lot of that work definitely showed in that sophomore year, because then that's like definitely what got me rolling into what got me all the way to this point.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, because I know that those years are tough, but everything happens for a reason, as you know, and that's what got you to that next level.
Absolutely.
What advice would you give to a high school or collegiate athlete on the transitions, on making that next move, on dreaming their big dreams?
Yeah, I think you can't ever, as soon as you let yourself get discouraged, that's going to be the end of it. You have to take those small hits and make it build you stronger, because just in that moment where I missed nationals, I could have just as easily been discouraged and be all right, maybe running's not it. But I came back the next year, and it took a whole year. It wasn't just looking back, it seems just these little transitions, but
right.
I had a whole another 365 days until I could get another shot at it, and it's even more frustrating now in the professional scene, because now Olympics is every 4 years, and so
yes.
I know it's bittersweet missing an Olympic medal by just one spot, but so now I get to get another shot at it. I gotta wait 4 years, and so you just can't ever let yourself discourage. And I think taking those moments and using it as fire and using it as to motivate you along is definitely what I would say. Again, just dream big, and you're never gonna accomplish those things unless you're dreaming about them.
Yes, absolutely. Well, good job dreaming big. You got to the Olympics. Let's now fast. So we got through college. College was great. Had a lot of success. Yeah. At what point did you go, okay, now I want to go to, give the Olympics a shot?
Yeah. So it was
and how does that even happen? Because I could right now say I want to be in the Olympics, but I don't even know what I would do. So how do you even go for the Olympics?
No, so yeah, it's a pretty tough process, but I feel it was all a very overwhelming, just one thing to the next, to where it was all of a sudden oh, I'm doing this. It kind of just not that it just fell out of nowhere, but so it happened from college. It was my junior year, and I had that really successful junior year to where I had I started building up, and it was an unbeaten streak. It was 21 races undefeated, and it took me through 2 national championships where I won 2 national titles. And then I was trying to learn about the track scene. I didn't quite know what that next stage was professional, with world championships and with Olympics and stuff.
Did you have someone helping you and guide you?
Yeah, so that's lucky with KU. We had our head coach, Coach Redwine, who ran professionally back in his day.
Nice.
And so he helped me do that seamless transition, and he was the one that hooked me up with my agents, which is Artie Huff is working at the Arkansas, and I think Coach Redwine was coaching Art while he was at Arkansas, and so then he got me with my agents, and then and so we made that transition. But that 2019 year, when I was a junior in college, so I had the opportunity to make the Doha World Championship teams for track, and just fresh out of college, I made the world team, and then a whole slew of opportunities opened up, and that's when I started talking pro, and you just have all these shoe companies interested in you to to take you to that next stage. And I was lucky enough to have Adidas showing so much support, and now it's
Did you already wear Adidas at that point?
Yeah, so KU was, yeah. So KU was, it was a nice transition, because KU was an Adidas school. But now they support me throughout my whole career, and they do a lot for us, and I'm part of the Adidas family. And yeah, so that 2019 season made the world team and went to Doha and got 4th in the world the first time. And so
that's amazing.
I didn't even realize the weight of that. It's even in my career.
At the time, you didn't realize how big that it was?
Yeah, because going on, it was so hard to replicate those results in the coming years. Just where once you get to that level, it's another beast to stay at that level. And so that was a big learning curve on the professional to learn how to train and to get back to that point. But yeah,
I love that. I love that. Yeah. And fun fact, I don't want to gloss over, because you mentioned my childhood friend, Artie Huff. This was a weird fun fact, a weird coincidence. When you walked in, you said, "Oh, he happens to be my agent." I was like, he grew up with us. That's so crazy. But I have to say, if do you remember the line in Forrest Gump? If I was running, or if I was going anywhere, I was running.
Yeah.
That was Artie. If he was going anywhere, he was running. So I love that he is your agent, because he was passionate about it then, and he's passionate about it now. So
Mark Wetmore and Art do a lot for me. They're
is awesome.
Behind the scenes doing everything and making sure I get to where I need to be, and supporting me big time. So thankful for those guys.
That's awesome. So you've got Adidas, you're at the Olympics, you have a successful first Olympics. Let's go to the Paris. Let's all go to Paris. Can we go to Paris right now? Tell me what that experience was like, because you were telling me it was your first time there.
Yeah, first time in Paris. I'd been in France, and I don't count going through the airport. So I'd gone through Charles de Gaulle Airport.
Yeah, that doesn't
many
count.
times. But so the first time in Paris, exploring it, and so this one's huge. Like again, like I was trying to explain, it's quite overstimulating just having like to deal with like all the Olympic stuff and like be in the village and like you're meeting all these other cool athletes like at the best at their sports, and then much different from Tokyo, my first time. Where I actually got to bring my family, like have all my friends there. So like
because it was during COVID.
Yeah, during COVID.
That's right. So that was a completely different experience.
Empty stands in Tokyo. That was
even your mom and dad couldn't even go with you.
No, yeah, like we barely got to bring like our coaches.
I would have cried if my son was in the Olympics and I couldn't go watch.
No, it was very strict. Like Tokyo took it very seriously.
Wow.
To where like only the athletes got to come, and so it was definitely special to have them all there this time around.
Oh, I bet. You had a big crew there cheering you on.
It was awesome. Like they had their Team Hoppel shirts on and everything, and had extended family. All my friends I grew up with. It was pretty cool.
I love it. Let's talk about the Olympic Village, because what I think of the Olympic Village and what it's probably like is completely different. What is it like to stay in the Olympic Village? Man,
you're just like living on like that, like just like living on euphoria. You know, it's cool. Like you feel like you're doing something really important, and like you see other athletes who like you also look up to. Like you run into like some of the basketball guys that are like NBA stars, or like
who'd you meet?
Just like so I got to meet Steph Curry, Joel Embiid, Anthony Edwards, and Kevin Durant. So those are the four that I got photos with. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, because you're like, I'm just hanging here with Steph. Yeah, just hanging out.
No, but I don't know if people realize like it's like a little village. Like it has, like they build all this infrastructure to where like it has everything you need. Like we have dining halls with incredible food options. We have like coffee shops in there. We have barber shops. Like
really,
yeah, it's like
I guess you got to get your hair cut while you're there.
Yeah. No, it's literally the infrastructure. Like we have our own little supermarket like within the village. It's a cool like infrastructure that they build behind it, and then of course like all the team buildings. They have like the Team USA building with the athlete lounges where I probably spent most of my time. It's a cool atmosphere to where like.
So do all the runners hang out together? Do you mix
Just
in with the
all
gymnasts?
athletes.
Are the basketball players there? Did they have their own hotel? Like, what was that like?
Yeah, it was awesome. So like every night everyone would kind of just like gather in that like athlete lounge, and like probably one of my coolest things was like it's just like a random like everyone just like kind of mingles and you get to meet everyone. But Coco Gauff, one of the like big tennis players, big name. I was just like sitting there with her, and like we were like, I mean, everyone like realized that it was Coco, and so like we were watching some of her like the tennis match from that day, and I was just like, I just got to like ask her like insight, like what does this mean, or just like getting insight on tennis, and it was like that was such a cool moment because she's incredible.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I have questions about your big moment. So let's go to that. What are you feeling when you're right there? You've got you're in the starter block. You're ready to go. What are you thinking at that point? What is the thoughts going through your head?
Oh man, it's a lot of thoughts. I think just most nerves going through those like qualifying rounds because we have the prelims and the semis.
Oh yeah, I kind of glossed over those, didn't I? Yeah.
But those
before the finals, you got to do those.
Yeah, those moments weigh on you big time because like those moments is like, all right, you have to get through this to like even get a shot at like the big moment of glory, and so those are the ones that like keep you up at night, like hard to sleep for, and like it's just like the qualifying rounds it makes it tough because like if you don't like at my first Olympics I got knocked out in the semifinals and never even got a shot at the like Olympic final, but luckily we're able to get the job done, and yeah, being on the line for the Olympic final, I think that's the fun part. It's like, all right, we've been working all year. We've been working all 4 years for a shot.
Like here it is.
Yeah, an Olympic final. And I think that's when you can just like let it loose. Like, all right, I've done everything that I can. Just like honestly, give it into the hands of God. Like you just run out, like do the best of your ability. You've done everything you can at this point. And it's like, all right, let's just let it loose.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So then you're in the starting block. It's the finals. What are you saying to yourself? Because I think that's important. I'm sure for you is what you're saying to yourself when you're in that moment.
I think like run smart and just like make sure you're engaged. It's
like aware, so that you don't
aware. Probably like. I feel like I've always like excelled at being like a very tactical and like smart running. So like 800 is very difficult towards like almost it's not quite a sprint, because like the 100 meters and 200 meters is like sprint, just like run as fast as you can. We're not like necessarily running as fast as we can every moment of that race. It's like you have to figure out how to give like your effort distribution and like make sure you're still engaged in the race.
So you don't die at the end, okay.
Well, just like, I don't know, certain people make certain moves and like they'll take us out a certain pace, and you just got to make sure you're in. I don't want to get too technical. Just like make sure you're in certain spots.
No, I love this because like I am so non-technical in my running. I'm just trying to finish the miles, So it's like, like I can't even imagine the technical that you're engaged in at that time.
It's tough, because like I don't know, you can make surges to where like, all right, maybe I find myself like boxing on the rail to where like you have people on the outside and like you're having to chop your stride and like you're exerting energy. If you let yourself get in a moment like that, then you're using energy that's not necessarily going into like to running. And so, no, it's tough.
Oh, that makes sense. Like, like you don't want to get boxed out, I guess. Just
called?
Sorry.
We're all like, we're all like different lengths and like different sizes. And so like, I don't know, like a guy like, I don't know how well people know, like Marco Arop. He's a tall guy to where he has a long back stride. And like, if you're behind him, like you have to chop your steps because his legs are coming back and like you can't really get into the rhythm of how you want. But no, it's a very, I know like, people probably just like watch the running and it's like, oh, they're just like out there running, but like there's so much that goes behind it. It's like always thinking about it. But no, like as for the Olympic final, it's hard to like actually pinpoint like what was going through my mind.
Right, like what words you're saying or
Because the 800 hurts to where like I feel like a whole part of the 100, like especially for the first lap, is like I don't want to think about anything. Like I just want to like numb the mind, get through the first lap, and then like oh
no, you're good.
and then really just like start racing and kick it in and give it everything you have. But yeah, I think there's beneficial to also like shutting off your mind.
Yeah.
Because running hurts.
I bet. I can't even imagine what your post-race like icing must be like, and because it's gotta be pretty painful.
Yeah. No, I think
done.
That's I mean, so many things behind the scenes, especially when you have 3 rounds to like in between those races, you have to do everything you can to like come back and be ready for more.
Right.
And so it was crazy. Like normally, like throughout the year, you kind of just do like one-off races. Like, all right, I'm gonna go to London. I have a fast 800 here, and like you're just gonna run as fast as you can.
Yeah.
But like in the Olympic or like championship format, you have the 3 rounds, and so I have a semifinal round, and then next day I have to come back and run the final round.
Yeah.
And so it was special this year because like you normally don't see it, but like in the semifinal, I ran. I think it was my 3rd fastest time that I've ever run, like in my whole career. And then I came back to the final and ran my fastest time ever. And so it's like, I don't know. There's a lot to like, we have to like review those things and like figure out how that was even possible. Like,
how you did 1:41:67? Is that right?
Is that it? That 1:41:67.
What did you think when you look up and saw that? I mean, was it just so exciting?
I didn't believe it. Like it's like, oh, maybe they're gonna update it. Like the time doesn't look real and it still doesn't feel real because like. I mean, I'm definitely like very happy and blessed to have run 1:41 because like first American to ever get under 1:42.
Yes, congratulations. That's huge. That is amazing.
I still like don't like even like halfway through my career. Like I think if you would have told me like, hey, you're gonna run 1:41 one day, I'm like, are you sure? Like it is. I don't know.
give me like what were you running so I could know like the difference.
So like in my career prior, like it was a huge deal to run 1:43 seconds. And so like
like in high school, were you like 1:45?
No, so like in high school, my 1:49.
Oh, 1:49.
Like, and so like at that time, 1:49 was a big deal to like get her to 1:50.
Wow.
And so yeah,
that is incredible.
And so yeah, through a majority of my career, it's a we can get into it, but like this year was a special year. If we want,
I got all the time in the world. Let's get into it.
Over the stats, yeah. So it was a crazy year because only 15 people, or like 1:41 has only been run like 15 times ever in the history of like track and field.
That's it? 15 times?
So 15 times is like just ever run, and then and then there's like 7 people because like they've made like Rudisha has run it multiple times, David Rudisha. Okay. And so there's 7 people that have ever done it, and this year I think it was like out of those 7, like 5 of us, I need to get better on the techniques, but like 5 people did it this year. Wow. And so I think it just like shows like, I don't know how much
like y'all are getting
how much passion was
faster.
going to the Paris Olympics this year. I don't know.
Right. I mean, because everybody ran really fast. Obviously, they're at the
Yeah.
Olympics, but you ran really, really fast this year. It
Yeah.
did. It seemed like there were records being broken, numbers, you know, that
Yeah.
you'd never heard of before. So that is amazing to be a part of that. And
Absolutely.
Congratulations on
you.
that big award. I know that, you know, a medal is what you're going for, but you broke a American record. That is awesome, and we are so proud of you.
Yeah, it's unreal to hear, so I appreciate that.
What is the next goal for you? What is, you know, I know everybody asks you that afterwards, like, what's next? And I don't watch a lot of TV, so I don't even
Yeah.
know if you've said you're going to go next time.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, so, or if you've even released that, and if you want to do it right here on the Krista Escamilla show, go for it.
No, yeah, so, I mean, 27 years old, next Olympics is in 4 years. I mean, that's the main goal. Like, I want to be at another Olympics.
Yes.
And I want another shot at the medals. And so I think that's the ultimate goal.
Awesome.
But like track and field, we have milestones, I would say, like in between that. So like next year, we have a world championship year. And so
Okay.
like we'll be at the world championships. Hopefully, I mean, knock on wood.
Oh yeah, knock on wood.
We'll be at the world championships in Tokyo next year. And so like those are big moments as well. Like just same competitors going after same medals. And so we'll have those things in between. And yeah, I mean, I get like maybe 2 weeks off out of the year, and it's a pretty full-time gig to where you got to keep the body in shape and keep the body sharp.
Right, it's not like you can sit around and eat bonbons and Cheetos now and then just go, okay, I think I'll run again in a year, right?
Yeah, definitely not. No, it's year round. So yeah, I'm getting right back into it like Monday. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I know you have some traveling to do and a little bit of relaxing, a little bit, right?
So
that's exciting.
I'll be training again, but I'm gonna go do some beach trips for sure.
Good luck to you. I know, I'm so excited. I'm so happy to hear that you're going to go for it again. We'll be cheering for you. There are so many people here that support you. There was a huge party. I don't know if you know about it at the Rock Hounds. Huge party for you. There were also 3:30 in the morning parties that were going on at some family friends' houses. So
that was awesome.
Huge shout out. I know the Michaels family always kept us updated on Facebook, and the Matas and so many others that were cheering you on and keeping us posted on when you were running so we wouldn't miss it.
I mean,
so
that's
I love
special.
that.
Like I want to point that out. That's special. Like I'm around all the other like Olympic athletes, and I feel so loved for Midland. That's a huge part of who I am. Like Midland behind me is what makes me such a successful athlete. Like I couldn't be more thankful for the support that everyone gives me. You guys give me, and I feel very loved. It's awesome to see.
I'm so happy to hear that you feel the love. You feel the love. Okay, we do something called Question of the Day.
Yeah.
So here is Question of the Day. You pull one out, answer the question, and
Let's go with this one.
What'd
Strong.
you get? Yeah, you got strong. Well, of course, because you're strong. Because you're an athlete. What does it say?
How do you motivate yourself daily?
What a great question for you to answer.
Yeah, there's definitely days where it's like we wake up and it's hard to get out the door for running. But again, I think it's the people you surround yourself with. Like right now, I'm thankful to have some incredible training partners who we're kind of like all going through it together. And so like we have those
that you run with every morning.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't just go out by yourself and
Definitely, that'd be very difficult to do. Like I think that's get out there. It's difficult to do things on your own. Like you always want to find that support system, and I think my dad definitely always holds me accountable. My training partners always hold me accountable, and I would not advise to ever think you have to do things on your own.
I love that.
It's definitely my support group that keeps me going every day.
I love that. Yeah. All right, we do something called favorite things. Okay, you ready for this?
Yeah.
So first of all, because we talked about it earlier, tell us your favorite Mexican restaurant here in Midland.
I don't know if I can narrow it down just to one. Let's see. I mean, I'll probably go with let's do 2 or 3.
Okay, sounds good.
I was just at lunch at La Creta, out there on, I think, Florida.
Okay.
Great. Mis Amigas, incredible. And then, I mean, Rose's Cafe. It's just like
it's such a staple, right?
Such a staple.
When you come back.
It's such easy to get, and I actually just had a hard time explaining this to my girlfriend. I'm it's not fast food, and it's it is fast. You get it, but it's still incredible food, and it's you just have to experience it because
it is a favorite. I know when our kids come home from college, you have to go to Rose's. It's a staple. Yeah,
it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
It is good. Oh, love it. Okay, next one. Favorite book.
Favorite book? That's a tough one. I'm not a huge reader, but I mean, right now I've been reading C.S. Lewis. Just like, I know he has a bunch of different books, but it's a collection of like all his signature ones.
Oh, awesome.
I guess my favorite is the one I'm reading currently. So.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Favorite? Do you listen to podcasts?
Oh yeah, favorite podcast.
Okay, favorite podcast.
Favorite podcast. It's either like I don't know if you like Lex Friedman. He just gets on like a bunch of like celebrities and just kind of like interviews them, which is like it's entertaining.
I bet that is fun. Yeah. Because sometimes you just need to be entertained, right? In a podcast. Yeah.
That one's cool. It's very informative. That one is, but like probably for entertainment, Crime Junkies, to where like
you're a crime junkie guy.
If I'm ever doing like a big road trip or like international flights, like I'll download a couple episodes on that and just like listen to them, which is a good podcast. Yeah.
I understand. My our daughter Aspen, she loves her some crime podcasts. Yeah. Let's talk about your favorite. Oh, I like this one. Favorite movie.
Favorite movie. So so one of my biggest like probably like dreams was like probably going to like aerospace engineering or like I just like love space. I was very fascinated. I grew up watching Discovery Channel and like just like really space stuff. So Interstellar with Matthew McConaughey is like my favorite movie.
Awesome. Awesome. What is your hype song?
Hype song.
Song you're putting on, because I know all you athletes always have the earbuds in, right?
Yeah.
Did I say it right? Earbuds, AirPods. See, I say it wrong to my son all the time. I'm like, but take those earbuds out. No, Mom, it's an AirPod. So what's in your ears?
No song specific, but last name Hoppel, but my mom's side, I'm Mexican on my mom's side. And for like just Mexican music always just like gets me in the groove and like going. So,
I
like,
love that. Yay!
That's what gets me hyped.
My mother-in-law is clapping over there right now. She is. I think she's even crying. She loves you even more now. That is awesome. That is awesome. Favorite? A fun fact. Fun fact about you we would not see on your Wikipedia page, or that your parents would not tell us if we just said, tell us about Bryce. So fun fact.
Fun fact. What was that? Oh yeah, fun fact. That is a big one. Like shout out to my mom. Like, I think it was like very early on. I was maybe a year or 2 years old. That I think there's something with my respiratory system. I just like stopped breathing, and they had to have like the ambulance come. And
oh my goodness.
I think I was on like I don't know what you call the machine, like a respirator for like the first 2 or 3 years of my life, where. Wow. Probably very stressful. My mom having to just like sleep by my crib.
I can't even imagine.
Making sure I'm alive.
Yeah.
So it was tough. Which, that's
amazing. And then look at the athlete that you have become. I mean, really, I
utilize my respiratory a lot.
Yes, so you do a lot.
Yeah, it's crazy how some miracles can happen.
Yeah, sure. I was just gonna say miracle. Absolutely, that is a miracle. Absolutely. Oh, thanks for sharing that with us. I love that. Tell favorite coffee shop here in Midland.
Favorite coffee shop. I don't know. It's between like Black Rifle or the one over by Memorial. I just
Far West.
I had it for the first time.
Far West Coffee.
Like the other morning.
Pretty good.
It was pretty good stuff.
It is good stuff. I love that place. And it's just it's a cool vibe too when you walk in, right? I mean, it feels. I don't know. It just feels feels different. I like it. It feels
modern. Like
modern.
I don't know what you call it.
Yeah, I don't either. I was trying
to
think of a name. I don't even know what to call it either. But yeah, I love it. Okay, favorite. Tell us about your bravest moment.
Bravest moment. I think it was that like transition from soccer to track, just because like a lot of uncertainty to where I'm leaving a sport that I love so much and like that I've known, and then going into something that I don't have much experience with, and it ended up being, now it's like an identity to me to where like I am a runner, and like that was probably my bravest moment, because it was tough to give up a sport and go for another one. Yeah.
Right. That is hard, especially for athletes that love multiple sports. It's tough to make that decision.
Yeah. And it was like just like my whole like friend group and everything ingrained it. And it seemed like it, like you get your identity in something. Like I feel like my identity was in being an athlete, and so that was a big transition for me.
Well, the good thing is you're still an athlete. Just in a different setting, right?
Yeah,
but definitely. I love that you still keep a team around, because I think of running as such an individual sport.
Yeah.
But I love that you have said today multiple times that it's like it is so important to have a good team around you.
Individual when you're out there, definitely not an individual day to day in the training. So
and I want to ask you a question about that in a minute, but I have to finish my list because I want to make sure I know what your favorite part of your morning routine is.
Coming back to the coffee, I don't think I would have a morning if it wasn't for my coffee. It's always go to. But and then usually like, and then the coffee like transitioned into something like, just like sitting out on the porch, maybe just like reading or like just enjoying the morning. We wake up pretty early for running, so I get to see nice sunrises in Flagstaff sometimes.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. and plus you have to beat the heat. So
out in the mountains, it's cool. It's cool, brisk air.
Oh, I bet that's gorgeous.
It is.
All right, life hack that you do that makes your life go easier.
Life hack.
Could be anything.
That's tough.
Setting the tennis shoes out the night before. No, I'm kidding. Something that just makes the routine and makes your life a little easier.
I think planning, like, I don't want to say planning meals, but like diet is such a huge thing that's like just like to your general overall health.
Yes.
So like making sure, I don't know, like life hack, every dinner now it's like, all right, make sure you have your carbs, your proteins, and your vegetables. And that goes into a lot of my life to where
I love that.
It's beneficial. It makes you feel good, keeps you healthy, and I wouldn't be doing without it. So I'd say keeping on top of my meals is my life.
Good job. Well, and I'm glad you said that because as a parent of athletes, sometimes I'm like, eat your veggies, eat your protein, do that, right? Make sure. But, kids don't always listen to their parents. I don't know if y'all know this or not. Kids don't always listen. So can you speak to the kids right now that are listening and tell them a little bit about nutrition and why that's so important? Because I know it's a huge part of your life.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like, it's definitely like, all right, let me maximize as much of the performance and like keeping my body as healthy as I can. But like, just in general, like the longevity of your life. If you want to live a longer life, you want to keep track of what you're putting into your body, and it's huge. I think a lot of people don't realize it's like, being like popping over from Europe and back to the U.S., like you don't realize like how many things are like processed. So I'd just be like, be aware of what you're consuming. It might taste good, just like make sure that you know what's inside it, and it'll just make you feel better. I think it's I don't want to speak too much because I'm not like a nutrition expert.
But you feel your body every day, and you're an Olympian, so you got a little knowledge on this.
It definitely crosses over into like just like your mental health as well.
I agree.
You can, if you're just like stuffing your body with like fats and things that are going to weigh you down, it's going to affect you mentally as well. So I think you could be happier by eating a very healthy diet to where it's like, it's going to make you feel more energized. It's going to make you feel more happy. And it's like, it's an underlying thing that I think a lot of people kind of don't pay attention to sometimes probably, or like can fall into bad habits.
Right.
So
absolutely. Yeah. Right. Favorite memory in Midland?
Oh, favorite memory. I think, just everything around the Rockhounds. Like I just like grew up probably being too much of a menace. Just like I like just all my friends, we just like run around the ballpark and get into all types of shenanigans. And I think having that childhood out there was definitely probably my favorite. Yeah.
I bet it was pretty magical.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you got to go to a place that people they love. They feel this joy, right, when they go there. And because of your dad's job there, you got to go. I don't know if you went to every game, but I'm sure you were at a lot of them, right?
Yeah. No, I think that's the coolest part about sports is it brings people together, it gives certain people a sense of purpose, and something to root for, something to cheer for, and feel excited about. So, yeah.
I love that. Tell me, what was your favorite memory from the Olympics this year?
Oh, favorite memory. Mm-hmm. Let's see. I think it was the moment after the final where, like, I finally got to, like, because, like, maybe it was just me being, like, a little paranoid, but, like, in the lead up, all my family was there, but, like, I'm so focused and I'm like afraid of like maybe catching like little illnesses that I kind of just like got to spend a little time with them. Like I'd see them like, oh, hey guys, like, all right, good to see you. And then like, all right, I got to go back to the village and get in my routine.
Yeah.
But so like finally the moment after that, you just like get the moment of relief, and then I get to hug everyone and then go enjoy the big meal with them. And so I think that meal afterwards, the Olympic final, and getting to, and then share the experience with all them and like, share the excitement with my family was definitely my favorite moment.
Yeah, you were doing a lot of side hugs, right? Like, hi guys, gotta go because you don't want to catch any germs.
Or even, like I was like even a little more extreme to where
were you?
I think before the prelims and semis, I was like not giving out hugs yet, but like, hey everybody.
But I love you.
Yeah.
I love you from a distance.
Yeah. So it's yeah, little illnesses and stuff going around the village and stuff. So you want to be as precautious, I guess, as you can.
Right. When you're there, do you listen to the media? Do you get on social media? Do you stay focused in your own zone? What is that?
I was pretty like in tune with like all the media of it, and like obviously following all my teammates and stuff and getting excited about that.
Yeah.
But like once it got race time for me, I'm like, all right, all outside noise, like I'm dialed in. So cut it all out after that.
Good for you. Is there anything that happened there at the Olympics that we didn't hear about that you want to spill the tea right now? I mean, just anything. I mean, just something that like nobody even knows happens when you're there.
I don't think so. I think it's just life in the village is fun. And
is
like,
it?
we have exciting times and fun stuff. And once you probably start getting more towards the end, it's like people are probably more geared towards like partying and having a good time. So it's we're not always just super focused in as Olympians. We have fun too, but no, definitely you could feel the vibe change from like when you first get there to where like everyone's kind of just like, all right,
at the end,
I'm focused towards the end. It's like we did it and we get to celebrate, you know.
Oh, I love that. I love that for you because just as an outsider in, it is so much fun to watch. You know, and I can speak for probably everyone. We love hearing the stories. We love hearing your stories. We love hearing, you know, just everything that happens because we are cheering for you so much that it's like when you get to see the joy. Like I remember watching you, you know, in the opening ceremonies, and I'm like, you know, you kind of feel like, cool. Oh, is there little nerves there, or you know, like we're nervous for you, we're excited for you, but to actually witness it and to be a part of it, I can imagine that was something that you will remember the rest of your life.
Oh, absolutely. I'm like trying to hold on. I need a journal or something to like it's even now it's like hard to express the emotions that I was feeling at that time.
I bet. Well, I have to tell you, I am so grateful that you've been spending this time with us today because I know your family time is precious to you. You're here in town. I saw that you were at a Rockhounds game, and I thought, I'm gonna just text your dad and see if you'll sit and visit with us. So thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. I always ask, and I'm gonna open it up because my husband always has great questions. Is there anything you wanted to ask him that I haven't asked yet that you wanted to know?
I would probably just say who you thought that you hadn't met was maybe the coolest athlete that you got to meet at the village.
Coolest athlete. I think Coco Gauff. I mean, she was like
really?
very, very friendly. I didn't realize how young she was. Like she
what, 17? Is that right?
I think she was like 18.
17, 18? Okay.
She was really cool to talk to. But a lot of my track teammates, like, I mean, Noah Lyles, me and him go back from like 2019. We're pretty good friends. And I mean, there's so many people, and we all have our own stories. To where it's like everyone that I met there is cool, you know.
That's awesome.
What about Snoop Dogg?
Oh yeah, did you meet Snoop?
I did meet Snoop.
Like
that was crazy to see. Like he would just like come and hang out at our training facility like through the Olympics, and I did get to snap a pic with him. But yeah, it was cool. Like,
I think that was fun.
To see that type of celebrity just like hanging around with us was cool. Yeah.
Did you get starstruck by anybody?
Starstruck, probably. Well, I mean, probably the basketball guys. When you first see him, it's like, whoa, like I always see you like on obviously like sports and like media and stuff, and it's like, oh, like that's Steph Curry standing there, you know? It's like it's interesting to like to see them in the flesh.
I bet. I bet that would be a little almost, and this may sound silly, but like almost like, well, what do I say to him? Like, what do I?
Or just like not even like because I guess you get to see him in the flesh at basketball games, but like that they were just doing the same thing that we did. Like we're all Olympians together, and like, all right, we're like all getting lined up to like, okay, you guys gotta go get on the boat now for opening ceremonies, and it's just like, just in line with them, like. It's interesting.
That's so cool. And sorry, the golf fan in me has to ask, did you meet Scotty Scheffler?
I didn't like introduce, but like I saw him as well, like in the same setting.
Okay.
But no, I didn't get to like, hi, I'm Bryce.
Hey, fellow Texan here.
No, that would have been cool. I should have made more of a point of that. That would have been cool to meet him. Yeah.
But they were also in the village too, or?
I think so. I saw him when like it was during opening ceremonies when I saw him. I don't know if he was like staying in the village, but like they had us all queue up from the village. So.
How fun. Okay, we're getting close. Any other questions from the audience? Studio audience. Are you an only child?
No, I have two older sisters.
He's going to go have lunch with one right now.
Yeah. It's like, I hope I mentioned them throughout this podcast, but I mean, they've always been a big inspiration to me. I mean, my older sister, Kelsey, was like a national champion before me in basketball. And so she was a big inspiration to reach for, you know, like those national championship when early on in my career.
Absolutely.
And then Megan, yeah, she's also like incredible, just very loving, probably the most loving out of our family, and including my mom. She definitely gets it all from my mom.
Aww.
So it's cool to see an extension of her and start her own family, which is awesome to see.
I love that. Yeah, because you're an uncle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Get to be a Theo.
How do you feel about that?
It's awesome.
You love
like,
it?
It's crazy to like they're already like growing up so fast, and like Liel is so smart, and it's cool to see. Yeah, the early stages of life for sure.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Well, we are definitely huge fans, even bigger now that we've met you. And I'm just so proud of you and all that you've done. Do you have any advice that you want to share that when you think, oh, hey, looking back on this, I hope that I got this out? Or is there anything I didn't get to ask you that you really wanted to make sure you shared with all of your friends and family listening?
Man, I think you did an incredible job of covering it all. But yeah, no, just I think mainly my family and friends in Midland I care so much about you, and I feel the love, and I appreciate all the support.
And any advice to those little runners out there that go, I want to be like Bryce when I grow up?
I mean, like I had the same dreams as you. I was on the same position as you. I think dream big, and like anything is definitely possible. It's just work hard and keep those dreams alive.
I love that. And I'm trying to think what else. I had one other question. You have a question?
I just want to know what it's like working with somebody. You can grab that.
What it's like working with? Oh, Adidas. Yeah. That's huge. I mean, that is so cool. What is it like to have Adidas as a sponsor? And do they just send you? And sorry, I don't know how this works. Do they just send you all this free stuff?
Yeah, no, it's
like swag just coming at you left and right.
It's honestly overwhelming. They keep us oversupplied. I would say even like they keep it like plenty of shoes. Like it's have them on my feet all the time, and they keep it like the technology and like all the support that they do is like it's a big part of like keeping us healthy and like keeping my legs like going,
Right.
But I mean, bigger than that, they feel like a family. I mean, we have they're at like every big event, and like they're there for us. It's like Spencer and everybody. They do a lot for us, and it's cool to have them there in Paris. And I mean, they're supporting us just as much as everything else, and couldn't be more thankful for the big sponsor. So yeah.
And do you have a favorite shoe? Like, is there one style, or like, I don't know if there's style. Are there styles of running shoes?
Yeah, I would say that's a hard question, because like as a professional runner, like we have like I would say like an arsenal of like I have like multiple shoes that I have to use through training. But like probably just the most general one is like the Adidas SL, which is like I would probably say just like a great just like general running shoe to like be in and like use as everyday shoe. But yeah, no, it definitely used quite a bit that we get to use through training. So
if I run an Adidas, I'm going to run as fast as you?
I would say so. It's definitely gonna get you closer.
All right, I'm gonna have to give it a try, because I think what you're doing is just amazing. So proud of you. I have all these questions I want to ask. I have one more question, I promise, then I'm done. Okay, stretching, because I want to know what your stretch, because, when I am about to just run out the door and stretch, I'm like, oh yeah, I stretched. I just like barely did any. I did like a scoop that my son taught me to do, like a little heel scoop or something. Uh-huh. But that's it. Is your stretching intensive? Is it an hour? Is it 10 minutes? What is it?
No, I mean, so like, I mean, running, like training running doesn't take up our whole day. But like taking care of your body and the PT and recovery is definitely another huge part of our day, to where like it does probably average like 2 hours a day, or like over the week, to where you got to be taking care of the body, and that's a huge part, to where you have to be getting massages and stuff, even to that extent.
Oh darn, you have to get massages.
Yeah.
Darn, you have to get a massage.
You should not like, you got to take care of your body, and I think that's just another aspect of it, to where you got to make sure you're feeling primed and recovered, is the biggest thing, just day to day. And make sure you're doing your stretching, or else to the extreme of it, if you try to go into something cold, like you might pull a muscle or even tear a muscle, which is like the extreme of it. But yeah, it's another just aspect of take care of your body.
So I have learned stretching is important, nutrition is important, wearing Adidas shoes is important because you run fast. We've learned it all today. Bryce, thank you so much. Final question, final.
Yeah.
This is what's like being like one of my kids too. I'm like, okay, one more question. Okay, final question. What do you want your running legacy to be?
Oh man, that was a hard question.
Well, I saved the best for last.
Running legacy is, I just want to definitely just inspire all those little kids here in Midland and just like in West Texas and everywhere, just to know that it's possible, and if you dream big, you can get it. But yeah, like the personal, like I think leave behind legacy. Like I also kind of want to be the best I want to do and one of the best to ever do it. And so I work hard day in and day out to achieve those things, and I hope I do my best. Yeah.
You're doing it now. High five. Great job, Bryce. Bryce Hoppel, 2-time Olympian, Midland native, and a list of other accolades that he is, and current American record holder for the 800. We are so grateful for your time. Most importantly, I'm so grateful that we got to see you, because we get to see you run for like what? Oh, only 1.41 seconds. I was going to say, how long do we get to see you run? Very little, right? But here today, we've really gotten to see your heart and what a great person you are, and what a great young man you are and role model for our community. So thank you. Hopefully we can do this again.
Absolutely.
We'll do this after the next Olympics. How does that sound?
Let's do it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. It is. Maybe we just go to Los Angeles and watch, and we can do a live report. But that, I wish you nothing but the best. You deserve it. You are a great young man and a role model to others. So thank you so much. And now go enjoy the next couple of weeks traveling with your family. I'm so excited.
Absolutely.
If you would like to follow along on Bryce's journey, let's give out your social media handles so they can do so.
Yeah, pretty easy. Just @Bryce Hoppel on Twitter and Instagram. So shouldn't be too hard to find.
There you go. Follow him, support him. He's just an amazing young man, great role model for your kids. So have them follow too. And we wish you nothing but the best. Thank you, Bryce.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening today. We hope you enjoyed our conversation. I know I did. I just loved hearing about his story. And for all the amazing stories, of course, you can watch on YouTube. You can listen on all of the podcast platforms, Apple, Google Play, Samsung, wherever you like to. And a special thank you to all of our sponsors for believing in our show and really for loving West Texans. It's a chance for us to really get to know each other better than the hi-bye that we have in the grocery store. We get to really sit down and see someone's heart, and that's what I love about it. So thank you to Kevin Foreman Financial, Rig ID, Thin FR, Midland Cap Company, Tapestry Hotel Midland, and Omni Midland Hotel. We appreciate each and every one of you. And of course, you, our listeners, thank you. We wouldn't have a show without you. So thank you so much. And you know what I always close out every show with. Say it along with me. Dream big, believe, and never give up. Thanks for joining us. You make it a great day.